This is Don't Be an Effin' Dick, Leadership for Vibrant Communities, written and narrated by Howie Milstein. Invitation, piquing your curiosity. If you are a consultant in the area of employee engagement, leadership development, or organizational culture, stop reading right now. In an act of utter benevolence, I'm giving you advance warning that the guidance in this book, if heeded, could put you out of business. Bummer for you, because my publisher has dissuaded me from offering a money-back guarantee on book purchases. Hopefully you'll agree that it either looks great on your bookshelf or in your garbage can, in which case your trash collector might find it and re-gift it to their boss. If your waste hauler is back in a couple of weeks with a beaming smile on their face, consider your tossing the book a great success. Look, consultants have created myriad assessments, schemes, workshops, and programs designed to placate organizations into believing they're doing great work to create great leaders and great cultures. Maybe because they are afraid to address the elephant in the room, or there weren't enough billable hours, they've simply skirted the one strategy necessary to bring joy, gratification, and engagement to our teams, offices, congregations, warehouses, manufacturing facilities, and all other gatherings of people collectively known as communities. And that is the aim of this book, to create more functional communities where members are thriving, contributing, and happy. Empirical evidence over decades has shown that we haven't moved the engagement, aka happiness, bar at all, even with the billions of dollars we've spent trying. I'm not going to do much, if any, review of data here. If you're interested, just go to Gallup.com or Google "Why the Workplace Sucks." I've spent so much time watching the data mount up and working fruitlessly to influence change that I've become baffled about our collective inability to simply try better tactics. Must all our strategies include drawn-out consulting arrangements with handsome fees? No. At this point, I invite those of you who have ventured this far into the book to exercise your privilege to stop reading. In fact, if you take to heart the advice found on the cover, you've pretty much gotten the message. However, knowing what to do, why you want to do it, and actually doing it takes a bit of heightened consciousness. So, if you're feeling game, persevere. As evolved as we think we are, none of us change easily or quickly. We typically spend the majority of our lives acquiring credentials like education and skills, but don't often intentionally focus on building emotional intelligence. I know it's not easy, but if I didn't know that we have the capacity to change, I wouldn't have wasted my time writing this. Trust me, it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. Lest you believe that, owing to the title of this book, it is directed specifically to males, I proclaim that the term dick is gender neutral, applicable to anyone regardless of their gender identification. In fact, I have personally encountered many dicks endowed with female DNA, and I imagine that you, reader, could name one woman or a dozen who you've thought about in these, and more colorful, terms. This book takes a shot at provoking readers into choosing to act with more emotional intelligence. It will work well for people who have the courage to seek and internalize honest feedback and acquire more self-awareness. It is also a great gift for the person, boss, or politician in your life who is a charter member of the Dickhood and doesn't either realize it or bother to care. Either way, I'm hopeful that it will sell somewhere between 12 and 1 million copies. Listen on. Chapter 1. Just this side of the monkey cage. We humans, already with the complicated syntax as I guess us humans ain't correct, are delightfully complex yet surprisingly simple. Nobody thinks more highly of our presently evolved state than ourselves, but I suspect that if you asked dogs, apes, or other denizens of the rainforest, they might think a bit less of us. Other creatures are all too aware of our imperfections, idiosyncrasies, and capacity to believe just about anything. On the side of believing we have a modicum of control, there's a school of thought that says we are free to choose our behavior. Otherwise known as free will, it might make us feel good about giving ourselves credit for the good things we do. It also could serve as the basis for blaming and judging others for the bonehead things they do. Heaven forbid, though, that we hold ourselves accountable for our own misdeeds. Then there is the belief that we're a product of our environment and upbringing. We learn things, consciously and subconsciously, about what to think and how to behave from friends, neighbors, parents, classmates, teachers, the media, and little Johnny, the self-purported expert from second grade,
Sample complete. Ready to continue?